So look at these stairs. These must be so old. Can't even stand on some of them without slipping. This one's a challenge. Nature really took back this. Look at this old railing. It's a far drop. Oh yeah, that railing is super duper strong. Look how this tree's holding on. The tree is actually hanging off the cliff, and all the roots are coming out. Oh yeah, this is a pretty sturdy railing. Let's head back down. There's a beaver dam, or no, just a lodge. They keep trying to build a dam, but the forest department keeps removing it because this pond, you see the road over there, right? This pond can only go up a few feet before it would go over the road. Some steep steps. Need a hiking pole here. Yeah, look at this, only a foot and this trail would be underwater. There's their lodge. It's a small lodge. Couldn't imagine there could be many beavers there. Looks like a lot of people walk over the dam. There's a trail there. Sure, the beavers hate that. See that tree? The water is so still. You can see reflections of everything. Got a little bit of a clog right here. It's going right over the boardwalk. We can quickly solve that. That's pretty good for now. The entire boardwalk kind of has to be lifted up a bunch. I just put some rocks there, stop it from flooding over there. That'll hold up for a while until one of the forest people finds it. But we're not finished yet. I gotta get rid of this little bulge here on the side. There we go. We just solved the problem pretty simply. Okay, so right here, you see the problem. These things are supposed to be up on logs, so they're supposed to be like 6 inches up. But over the years, from the mud, they all sunk. They gotta be lifted up. Another big rainstorm comes, it'll just clog it up again. That's more of a summer issue. Like, this will be all mud in the summer. I've done this trail so many times. Like, you see this one here, how high up it is. They're all supposed to be like this one. But this one appears to be in the driest part possible. Hey, look at this. We have a mallard duck. Mallard duck. And it looks like somebody actually threw one in the water. How heavy is that? Probably weighs a ton. Actually, it floats, but I can't get that out of there by myself. Somebody threw that in there. Now right here, this damage was not here a year ago. There used to be a nice trail here. But this river started flooding and it dragged all kinds of rocks covering the path. Water has a lot of power to it. It moves big stones. Okay, it looks like this is the people's new trail. See a bunch of random rocks just sitting here. Like, this was a little trickling stream. It eroded a lot. The water eroded underneath this support, causing it to tip sideways. It's still completely stable. It doesn't rock. Okay, you see the little dam right here? This is what the beavers always try to clog up. See that there? I bet somebody else threw one in here and it floated over here. That's how that got there. Somebody fished it out. There's all kinds of crampon marks from winter hikers. And right over here is a train track for North Conway Scenic Railway. That runs in the summertime. Right there is Mount Willard. That's Mount Elephant Head. It looks just like an elephant. Over here is Mount Jackson. I'm going to show you some footage of the train track. It's pretty cool how it goes through the mountain. This is older footage from about a year ago. Taking a look at these channels right here. These train tracks do not operate 8 months out of the year. Right here, it's not so much of a river, because you see there's barely anything under it. It would have cost a lot of money to blast away this mountain and make the shelve deeper. So a bridge was put in. So you can see there's not much water down there, but that is a really steep way down. That's pretty nice. You can tell this is all runoff. Most likely dries up in the summertime. Only travels at a maximum of 30 miles an hour. It's really slow. Rail service here stopped decades ago. It's just a train rides through the mountain. And you see the ties, all those tiny little holes? That's all from hikers using spikes. A lot of hikers use this because it's a lot easier than walking the road, and the train company doesn't care if they use it. They even have signs at the end saying if you fall off, it's your own risk. And notice there aren't any signs on the bridges like you would find on a regular train track. Most train companies would put no trespassing signs up. Look at this, they built a granite wall here to support that rock because they must have thought that rock was going to fall. And that must have been over 100 years ago when they did everything else. They're holding up a giant rock with bricks. And you see that up there, they even drilled to hold that one up. They were afraid they'd fall. Yeah, that rock, if you back up, look how big that thing is. They weren't going to blast that out. Let's go take a look up here. I just want to see something. There's a clogged culvert right here to the left. It's working because it would be backed up a lot, but I see it has created a small pond. This is nice. This area, they have all this nice granite. Few years I came up here, there was stacks and stacks of old ties here, but they cleaned it up really nicely. See up there, it goes into the mountain again. Right down here, slope isn't too steep. Okay, we have this water running down here. You see, and there's got to be a clogged culvert there, making that back up. Like, this here could actually be potentially hazardous. There's not really much I can do here, but I can definitely report this one. Because if that gets even worse, if this whole valley right here where I'm standing fills up, you know how much pressure that is against this track? That's not built to be a dam. Texaco. Look at the debris. That's evidence that the water gets this high occasionally. Still got snow. Culvert's got to be right there. Yeah, there's no way you can do this one by hand. That must be so packed. But also, by looking at it, it's been like this for years, and this is about as high as the water gets, right where it put that stuff. Not a major problem yet, but it's not going to get better on its own. It was made in 1930. Culvert's got to be way down there. I don't have the energy for this. I'm not going to go look at that. Looks like there's a marsh down there. Look how old that telegraph pole is. Around here, hikers aren't scum that put graffiti all over everything. Up here, they put a little bit on the edge of the track, but who cares about that? At least they have the respect not to put it on the walls. You know what? If somebody did put it on the walls, I bet the train company would remove it, because this is a scenic train ride in the summertime. That's why the track's all rusted now. Train hasn't been down here in a while. See all these rocks next to me? All these pieces of rock fall down. Usually in the winter, freeze-thaw cycles break them all free. Look at all that. All right, here's the parking lot for this waterfall. The other waterfall, which is a few hundred feet down the street, has its own parking lot. And it looks like somebody stole the sign, or they're replacing it. There used to be a sign there telling you the names of these mountains. The sun is now setting. It'll be dark shortly. Up there is a train trestle, small one. There's a pretty big one down there. That's the Conway Scenic Railway. No longer passenger trains. A lot of hikers walk along that track. I have some footage of a culvert up there that's all clogged up from about a couple months ago. I looked at it. You can also see some water falling right on the edge of the trestle. That trestle, there's nothing flowing underneath it. It's just because without the trestle, they would have had to blast that mountain to build the track further in, and that would have been very expensive and difficult. Because as it is, this was all a cliff. They had to build a shelf for the track. It's not dark yet. We can go see the pool. That's a great shot of that bridge. It's the middle of May right now, so you can still spot snow down in all these crevices, because in the winter there can be as much as 4, 5, 6 feet on the ground all at once. But here's a pool. People go swimming over near those waterfalls. I doubt they go swimming in this. This kind of looks gross. There's probably beavers too. You see that? Red squirrel. It looks like it got a nut. See the ducks down there flying away? This is pretty cool.